Hi guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is the Lady B, and may I tell us, it is time. And guess what? Time for what? It is time to get back to work. And let me tell us something, guys. A lot of times we say teachers leave Jamaica and come to US, and we wonder why them do it. First of all, we think say are the salary, right? And then we think say boy the treatment, the benefits, and all of that. But if you are a new teacher just coming to the US on a J1 visa, this video is a must watch, right? So if you in the US as a new teacher from Jamaica on a J1 visa, this is a must watch. I'm gonna try to make this at the beginning of a series, because this is in my field, and for those who don't know me, my professional background, I've been a teacher for 27 years. I taught 10 years in Jamaica. Then I migrated to the US in 2007, and I've been teaching here since. So, uno do the math, all right? My area of expertise is middle school. And even though that's my area of expertise, I also have a couple leadership degrees. One as a principal, I have a principal's degree, and I also have a degree in school leadership, educational leadership, right? And a lot of times when we're in Jamaica as teachers, we can start a master's degree from where they call it offshore universities. So if you're in Jamaica as a teacher, that's one of the best bet, because when you come up here and you already have a degree from a US university, that is a good look on your resume, right? So that's just a little bit of advice for those who are still backyard. Now, as I said earlier, if you're a new teacher, I'm not gonna make that video here too long. If you're a new teacher, just move to the US and you're gonna work in the US. You already start your little orientation and get familiar with the area. Then this is something that I want you to consider, right? The first thing I want you to think about is the difference in culture. You're gonna have a culture shock, because what we used to do in Jamaica is you're in a different environment. So the first thing I'm gonna recommend, and these are just based on my experiences, I would recommend you observe who's around you, observe, and if it's necessary for you to talk, you talk, but you can talk less. But observe. Make sure you observe your environment. Feel out the people them around you. Feel out what it's like. So that's a first way to do it. Observe. All right. Another thing you need to think about is scheduling. In Jamaica, schools is different from the US schools. And I say that because teaching in Jamaica, when I was teaching in Jamaica, we used to have two set of breaks. We used to have recess for 30 minutes, and then we have like a whole hour long lunch break. No, the scheduling is different. And I'm basically speaking not for the entire US. I'm in the eastern region. I'm in the North Carolina region. So I'm speaking in that region. Other regions might have different things in place. So scheduling is different. First of all, you don't get no 1 hour for lunch. Lunchtime is basically a 25 to 30 minutes, right? So there are times also we don't have independent lunch, meaning we have lunch with the kids, right? We have supervised lunch. So when you're having lunch, the kids are having lunch, you take the kids to lunch. Another thing that I want the Jamaican teachers to be aware of, in Jamaica, initially, kids are more independent, meaning you don't have to walk them to their classes, right? I'm basically speaking for middle school. I'm not speaking for high school. I'm speaking for middle school. As I said, places in America are different. I'm talking about the area in North Carolina that I'm at, right? And it's generally like that. So basically, when the kids are switching classes, if you're in a middle school or elementary school, If the elementary school, upper elementary switch classes, you have to bring those kids to class. So you want those kids to class whenever they're switching classes. All right, and I'm gonna stay specific on middle school because that's where I'm at. Middle school here is 6 to 8. So you take the kids to class, right? They have to be supervised at all times. It's not like Jamaica where you say, okay, at lunchtime, make them go and go eat lunch or then go for lunch and you sit down in your class. No, you have to be with the kids at all times, right? If you want to use the bathroom, you can't just get up and say, oh, I'm going to use the bathroom. You have to get somebody to watch those kids because if you leave them and something happened, you are going to be held accountable. So, one big difference with Jamaica and US is the supervision. Those kids have to be supervised at all times. All right. Now, another thing that's a big difference. In Jamaica, we have devotion. We do not have that here in the US. The most they will do is say the pledge, right? The most they'll do is they'll say the pledge, they'll come on the intercom and you do the pledge. Some schools do, some schools don't. But we don't have that devotion where you come and you sing and you pray and you do all that stuff. So that's a big, big difference. And whatever I left out, just drop your comment in the comment section. If you have a question, as I said, I'm a veteran in this thing. So, and I've been teaching Jamaica and now I'm teaching in the US. So, a lot of times we say it's green on the other side. It depends on what you call greener, but it is a very good experience. And for the first initial part of the years, like for the first 2 years, there's a treaty between Jamaica and US, where for the first 2 years, Jamaicans do not pay taxes to the US. So if you get 5,000 a month, you take home all of that 5,000. You still have to file the taxes, but you don't pay any. So if your employer take money from your pay and you file it, you're supposed to get back every green dollar. Because, as I said, once you're working in the US for the first 2 years as a visiting teacher, you do not pay taxes. And if you're as a visiting teacher, it means you're on a J1 visa for the first 2 years. Because initially, you come on a J1 visa the first couple years, right? So taxes, and that's a big thing because that's gonna show that you're making more money in the US than you have been making in Jamaica. For the first 2 years, you don't pay any taxes. If your employer take taxes out of your money, then make sure you do your tax return, you file your taxes so you get back everything. In your third year, that's when you start paying taxes, right? Another important thing as a new teacher teaching in the US, and I'm not even gonna start like the first week of school, that's for a different video. Classroom management is important. Classroom management is important, and it comes with supervising the kids at all times. That means you're gonna keep your eyes and your ears open. In some of the schools, they have cameras. Like in my school, I have camera in my class, but before I have camera, and even know that I have camera, because you just have to always have your eyes on those kids, always supervise, always watch, always look for things that's brewing and diffuse it before it gets out of control. Pay attention to um, bullying, pay attention to, and one big thing that I didn't like and which I have to establish from day one, and sometimes in Jamaica we let it slide. As I said, I left Jamaica from 2007, and with me following what's going on there, I know these things are slidden. Anyway, I might new word that, but basically, when it comes on to picking, like kids picking on the other person or kids picking on each other, make sure you nip it in the bud from day one. One common thing would be where somebody probably answer a question and answer it the wrong way, and then you have people giggling and laughing. Nip it in the bud from day one. Do not allow that to happen, because that can easily escalate into something that you don't want to happen in your class. All right. Another thing that I want you to be aware of, as I said, classroom management is important, and I will do that differently as an entire big topic, because classroom management comes in different format. Ask for help. Ask for help. If you don't know how to do something, ask for help. If you don't ask for help, they will assume that you know what to do and you're probably just not doing it. If you have, let's say you have to put something on canvas, you don't know how to do it, you can, well, they probably do training for that. But if, let's say they do training and you still don't get it because your head tick like a for me, um, ask for help. When you ask for help, then they'll know you need help. If you don't ask for help, it is the assumption that you already know what you're doing. All right? So ask for help. And another thing with regards to when you're in the US teaching, the first one of the thing that really messes us up sometimes is the budgeting part. Now, for the first couple of years, you're good because the first couple of years is tax free. So when you get ready, well, as a matter of fact, for the first couple of years or when you just start, make sure you have an what you call a summer cash account, meaning you will not, well, in most areas, it's a 10 months job from August to May. You get paid from August to May, right? You don't get paid in Ju- uh, June, you don't get paid in July. But you have what's called a summer cash, and the summer cash is where you the summer cash is where you put aside some money to pay your bills in the summer months. Now, for some schools, you have what they call escrow. And escrow, that's where some of the schools take the money out for you and save it for you and pay you back that money June and July. But to be on the safe side, from day one, I've started a summer cash. The summer cash means you're saving your own money to pay your bills in the summer months when you don't have a job, right? So the big difference with that, US and Jamaica, in Jamaica you get paid 12 months for the year. Right round the clock you get paid as a teacher. In the US, it's different. If you work 10 months, you get paid for 10. If you work 8, you're getting paid for 8. If you work 5, you're getting paid for 5. It's normally a 10 months job. If you're in administration position or if you're in curriculum position, then you probably have a 12 or 11 months. But as a teacher, you are 10 months employed unless you are a year-round school, and that's a totally different category. Always budget. Always make sure you set aside money to pay your bills. And this is done through the state credit union. So join the credit union, or your finance person will probably help you out with that. But these are key things to pay attention to. One more thing I want to talk about is the time. So, and that's a weakness on everybody's part, not just Jamaicans, but even Americans, right? Especially in say black people time. No racist intended, but it's always good to get there about 10 or 15 minutes before school starts. So if you're supposed to reach, normally they say you're to reach there. Normally, if the kids come in the class 8 o'clock, they tell you you need to reach there 7:45, right? No, I would try to get there at least 7:35 or 7:30. Try to get there early. Get your stuff together. And some of the other things are gonna be left for a different life, but get there on time. Put your stuff together. Um, just to make sure that you are ready for when those kids come in. Because when those kids come in the classroom, that's going to be a different story. A lot of these things we can tell you, but when the kids come to you, then you will have your own experience, right? So let me go back through the list. If you are a new teacher, teaching in Jamaica, teaching in the US on a J1 visa, just leave Jamaica. These are some things you need to take into consideration. Take into consideration the difference in culture, the scheduling. Remember, there's not a devotion like how we have devotion in Jamaica. Um, Classroom management is important. Make sure you have your stuff on point. But also, as I said, I'm going to do some different labs for these different topics. Make sure you observe the environment, observe the people around you, ask questions if you need help, budget properly. Most of these schools are 10 months employed. In the summer months, you don't get pay. So you have to budget your money. Um, so you can either use a summer cash through the credit union, or you save your own money to pay your bills in the summer months, because sometimes even if you get a little job, it's not going to be enough to pay the bills that you have. So always save your money to pay your bills. Now if you have any questions that you want to ask me, um, you can email me at extracal22 at gmail.com. Go ahead and write that down. I'm going to drop it in the link below. I'm also have a WhatsApp number. I'm going to go ahead and put in the link below as well so that you can have access. If you have any questions, if you're a new teacher working in the US and you have any questions regarding anything at all, just hit me up and I'll be able to help you as best as I can. If I do not have the answer, I will find the answer and help you as best as I possibly can. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, if you're new to the channel and you make it to this end, hit the like button. If you don't share it yet, share it to every new teacher you know teaching in the US, especially if they're Jamaican. And not only Jamaican, but also we have some new teachers coming to my school, some Africans. So if you know some new teachers coming up in the US to teach and they have questions, they can hit me up. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, like, share, and definitely subscribe.